All right, what's going on, guys? So we're going to work on some Sai Jitsu basics, holding the weapon, handling the weapon, so on and so forth. So first thing you want to know is when we open it up, thumb is going to be in the middle. This is called a moto. And the finger's going to be wrapped around the suka. Flip back, flip out. So as we do that, we're going to loosen up. Thumb is going to go in between the yokote. Flip it in. You want your index finger behind the suka, pressing the side against your forearm. At all times, this side should be on your forearms if the weapon is closed. You never want one of these weird motions, one of those weird motions. You want to be right here. Think of it like an exoskeleton, right? Wolverine's exoskeleton, that's what you want. So your yokote and your sume are going to be your hookers, right? Not the ones you buy in the street. They're going to hook arms, they'll hook weapons, they'll hook joints and things like that. This here is going to be your striker. You can also use the side of it as well, like a shuto. Same thing here, across. So holding the weapon. In our particular art, we don't want to bring the weapon all the way down to a hip chamber. We want to keep it floating here. Specifics of that we can get into another time, but this is the idea. So when we open it up. We can have this vertical, or we can come across horizontal, depending on what the purpose is. Here, also, good deflector. Here, not so much the same way if it's high. This is more of its low and you want to come over. This is more of its high. And both of them, here or here, can both be strikes, here or up. So we come across this way for Churanuke, and this can be a variant of Joranuke here. So 1, 2. If it's up here high, it's a little bit harder to get power behind it. Here's a little bit more stable coming across. So we can come down, we can come up. Down, up. So we're here 1, and this one is vertical 2. We also have coming down across the body this way in front of us. Here. Generally, this will be followed up by some sort of a strike, using the momentum of that weapon or that leg or limb to come back over and strike. So again, when we do this, fingers are going to grab, flip and close. Open, close. Here, here. This way. Now, other things you can do with this weapon, going into the ukewaza, aside from here, here, and here, are closed variations. So our hands will be up at an angle. So you don't want to do one of these. This isn't very weight bearing. More here at an angle, like the roof of a house. It slides right off. Then from here you can also hook onto a weapon, limb, so on and so forth. So we come up and then replace this like you're holding a football and up. 1, 2. 1, 2. Coming across here, pushing here with the mano uchi, pushing down this way, across and across. So in our particular art, we don't like the idea of doing this because I can hit my forearm and that's a no-no. I want to come across here, be nice and solid. So we're coming up, here, here. So again, we have the roof of a house and pushing across, shutting the door. So the roof and shutting the door. Next variation we have here is hooking across this way. So we'd be grabbing the limb with the yokote here. You can also strike this way across. So we're here and hooking. Boom, boom. So from here you can come across and strike. Here even coming up and strike it to the throat. Coming up, strike it to the throat. Variations of this movement. 1 and back 2, or 1 and back 2. Those are that way. Now from here coming down, there's 2 variations of this. One where you can turn it all the way around and use the side of it, or coming straight across here and using this to jam into a leg. So this would be for a weapon. This would be for a limb. So if it's an arm or a leg, you can shatter the shin or the wrist with the side of it. Here, the yokote. If it's a weapon, use the mano uchi to protect and shield. So, to recap, 1, this is going to be horizontal. 2, vertical. 3, you can do it either way, but this is a lot more stable than this. There's no stability here. Boom. Up, across, hook, down, or down. Those are the variations there. Striking with this weapon. There's so many options to strike with this weapon. This weapon is actually a percussive weapon to the adverse of what most people believe. So like if you would strike with a tambo or a Filipino baston, you can use it to whip across someone's arm, across their face, across their body, things like that. Even smacking another weapon away with the mano ichi. Coming across top of the skull, collarbone, things like that. So the same motions we use for the deflections in the uke, you can actually use to strike. And then there's here where you come across the body that way, come across the neck this way, coming in and over that way. And of course we have our thrust. When we do our ski, I don't like to do the straight, hey, because this is very easy to see coming. I prefer more of an uppercut motion here. This can slide right through, right there. And this is harder to see from that angle here. Drop, up, drop, up, drop, up, drop, up. So let's take some of the movements we've done already so far that we've been introduced to and make a drill. So first drill can be 1, 2, down, 3. 1, 2, down, 3. So I'm going to block, strike. After I strike, keep that weapon there or that limb, and now I go for the neck. So 1, 2, drop, 3. 1, or I can just go straight forward. So you can play with that either way. There's nothing set in stone. These are like Lego blocks. You take each piece, put them together however you want. So you can come 1, 2. You can come 1, strike, and then 2. Whichever you prefer. Or you can go 1, 2, and back around 3. That's another option. So here, hit, come back around and strike. 1, hit, come over and strike. So we have 1, 2, back here. 1, 2, back around. Different options that you have there. Moving onwards, we can play with different motions. So we could be here, this is our kamae. Something comes, we push it across. After we push it across, we can parry it out and strike, parry it out and strike. So we have 1, 2, or even 1, 2. Move that weapon out of the way, top of the skull. So 1, bang, hit. Bring it around, hit. So many options, so many drills. This is just an introduction. I hope this helped anyone out there who's trying to learn some of these drills and weapons. And remember, you don't want this. I know there's certain rules, and it depends what we're doing, right? Like if I'm grabbing a limb, my finger might be here for a second, but I want to avoid doing this at any cost, unless it's a spin. And even then, I really don't, I mean, why spin it, right? Except for just looking cute. So try to avoid keeping it in here. Want to keep those hands here, and you want your thumb always to be back here, because if I hit something and I don't keep it there, it's just going to come back and hit me in the face. So structure here, thumbs across here, and boom, all set. Be good, guys.